What's up? SouthShallRise's back with my week 3 NFL picks. And I think I did pretty damn good last week, right? What was I, like 11-4? Y'all thought it was a game? I told you I was gonna get hot, man, but let me not toot my horn too soon. It's still early. I started with a terrible week 1, bounced back in week 2. I'm feeling confident about week 3. Got my NFL app here that I downloaded on my Samsung Galaxy 1 that's severely out of date, and my provider is Sprint, and they fucking lied. I had this phone for 3 years now and I never got 4G service on it, even though I paid that extra $10 premium fee for it. But I'm thinking about getting that Note 3 next month, and I better have some 4G LTE service or somebody owes some explanations. Anyway, let's get to the picks. I'm actually on time this week, so I'm going to get to pick the Thursday night game. Chiefs and Eagles. Andy Reid comes back to Philadelphia. Now this is the one the media is just all excited about. Andy Reid returning to his turf. Kansas City is 2-0 right now. Philadelphia's, 1-1, but not looking too dominating. This is one of those games where I use my special deduction skills to determine the winner. And after analyzing what I think is going to happen in this game, I gotta say, I think the Chiefs pull this one out. Andy Reid marches into Philadelphia with a chip on his shoulder, maybe, and knocks off his former team. That's my prediction. Cardinals Saints. The Saints have had 2 squeak by wins. I mean, you expect that against Atlanta. That's always a tough game. But I thought they would roll over the Buccaneers, and they had to do it in the final minute of the game. But that's my Saints, man. That's my Saints. And I'm not just picking the Saints to win these games based on loyalty. Even though deep down, I always want the Saints to win. I'm still giving you an unbiased pick. So, the Cardinals at the Saints. I think the Saints can beat the Cardinals. I won't say that they'll dominate them, but they'll squeak by again. The Saints actually got a pretty easy schedule this year. I looked at it this past week and I was like, man, we should have no problem making the playoffs. So, expect to see us back in the playoffs this year. Green Bay Packers versus Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are, what, 2-0? Pretty sure they 2-0. But don't let that fool you. I don't think that they're gonna knock off Green Bay that easily. So I think Green Bay comes in and wins this game in Cincinnati. Green Bay Packers take that one. Rams Cowboys. Now, I'm not a Romo fan. I don't see why people like Dallas these days. But I think this is one of those games where Tony Romo can squeak by. I think the Cowboys can beat the Rams, and Romo will probably have a good game, and then, everybody will be loving him, and then he'll probably stink it up next week. I don't even know who they play next week. I'm not looking ahead, but the Cowboys should be able to beat the Rams. Giants, Panthers. The Giants are 0-2, ain't they? Well, I mean, Eli, you had to go against Peyton. Peyton is just on fire so far. So I won't hold that against you. Do the Giants even have a running back this year? I mean, I don't think they got anybody that's worth noting. The Panthers, I think the Panthers can beat the Giants. But see, this is one of those kind of games that I hate. It's like no one team has a distinct advantage, so it's kind of tough to make a pick. So I got to go with my insight that only I have in these matters. And I'm going with the Panthers to beat the Giants in that game. Buccaneers Patriots. The Patriots are still winning, but they not winning in that Patriot fashion. They kind of like squeaking by, like the Saints have been squeaking by. And we got Tampa Bay, who has a pretty good defense. You know, I kind of got the feeling of an upset in that game. Let me think about it for a second. 1,000. 1,000, 1,000. Okay, it's a tough one, y'all. I'm feeling something brewing inside of me, man. You know, the obvious choice is the Patriots, but I'm feeling like the Buccaneers might do something. I'm gonna call that an upset, and I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. Call me crazy. Texans Ravens. Baltimore is not what they were. I don't understand how you get rid of Anquan Bolden when that guy was all you had on offense. I mean, Flacco is okay, but what other receiver did they really have? I mean, Anquan Bolden was the man up there, and they just let him go and gave Flacco all this money. I don't understand that. But hey, the defense is still decent, but I don't think that they're gonna beat the Texans. Like, they barely beat Cleveland, right? Last week. I think the Texans can take that one. Detroit Lions versus Washington Redskins. Man, Washington. Y'all. I don't know what's going on in Washington, man. I expected big things from y'all this season, but you're in the hole 0-2. It's not looking good so far. The Lions, you know, I've been giving them the benefit of the doubt the past couple weeks, and they didn't. Well, last week I gave them the benefit of the doubt. They lost. That's another one of those iffy games for me. But I think the Redskins are due for a win. I think the Redskins get a win this week. Chargers Titans. Now, I thought the Chargers would lose in Philadelphia last week, but they won, so they surprised me there. But I don't believe that the Chargers are all that great, you know. They just got by a Philadelphia team that kind of let it go or couldn't get it done. So the Titans, Chargers Titans, man, it's another game where I'm like, I don't really know. I don't. It could go either way. And a lot of games that I'm getting wrong are only decided by what, 3 points at the most. I hate these kind of games, but I'm gonna say the Titans win that game. Tennessee. Browns Vikings. Oh my God. The Browns, I had a little faith that y'all would at least get to 500 this year, but oh my God, Brandon Whedon, he's out this week. But man, y'all even work. I don't know. Maybe y'all can't be worse than what that guy did. I mean, I never seen a quarterback get three delay of game penalties in one game. Like, and he was coming out of huddles. It was just no excuse for him to have those penalties like that. I mean, I didn't realize just how bad Whedon was, because I never really watched the Browns, but I watched it last week, and wow, y'all got a good defense though. That's the sad part. But anyway, get back on subject. I think the Vikings should be able to win that game. Is Minnesota 0-2? I think they are. That's been a couple. That's been like 2 picks that really let me down, because I'm like, come on, Minnesota. Don't let me down this week, because every time I rock with y'all, y'all let me down. I should jump the boat, but I picked Minnesota, and I'm going to stick with it. Falcons, Dolphins, Atlanta. No explanation needed. Colts, 49ers. Well, we saw how to beat the 49ers last week, right? In my upset pick of the week. The Seahawks knocked them out. But I don't think the Colts had that kind of defense. So Colin Kaepernick should be able to shred the Colts, and the 49ers win that game. Bills, Jets. Oh, let me go back to that. You know, I kind of felt bad for Alex Smith. I was like, how you get rid of Alex Smith and just throw this Kaepernick guy in there? But it paid off for him. I mean, this guy, I didn't know nothing about him. And I was like, why would they just drop Alex Smith like that? He was playing good last season, and then this Kaepernick, this guy's just kind of beast mode, ain't he? Anyway, Bills Jets. Sanchez is out for the season, right? Oh man, I think Buffalo can beat the Jets. Shouldn't be too hard for them, but you never know. That's one of those games that could go either way, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Jaguars Seahawks. Oh my god. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the worst team. You know, the funny thing is, I don't think that Detroit Lions team that went 0-16 was as bad as these Jaguars are. But the Jaguars probably won't go 0-16, but they might. The Seahawks are gonna destroy the Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, that's gonna be. Whew. Do y'all even care? First of all, it's probably only like 20 people watching this video, but if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, do y'all even give a fuck about the team? I like y'all uniforms though. I always have liked the Jacksonville uniforms. Anyway, Chicago Bears, Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said, the Steelers are going to have a long year. They lost. This is why the Steelers are going to have a long year. And they're getting older. And now it's officially Mike Tomlin's team. Because I feel like for these past few seasons, he was still riding what was already established by Bill Cowher. You know, the chin. Bill Cowher was the Steelers coach before this Tomlin guy. And he left a lot of good players, a good system to work with, and Mike Tomlin came in and took over that and capitalized. But now it's actually Mike Tomlin. A lot of those old players are retired, moved on, traded, and this ain't the same Steelers that we know for this past decade. So Bears Steelers, it's not gonna be a lot of offense, I don't think, in this game, and it's really no clear winner to me. I mean, the Steelers, they not at what they were, but they still not that bad. Big Ben could still pull off some magic, you know. But I'm gonna say Steelers are 0-2, if I'm right. I think the Steelers can beat the Bears. I think they're gonna dig deep down. They're gonna be a little pissed off about what's being said about them, and they can squeak by the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna call that another upset. And finally, looks like the last game is the Monday night game. Oakland Raiders, Denver Broncos. Do I have to say it? Peyton Manning is just gonna have another field day against the Oakland Raiders. He might get another 400 yards passing. I called it. Those are my picks. Let's see how I do. I got a couple of iffy games. It was some hard picks this week, but I can't go back and change it now. Anyway, SouthShallRise's out. I know a lot of y'all don't give a fuck about my NFL picks, but I'm doing it because it's my channel. And I'm sure I got some more Tekken videos for y'all to check out anytime. It's hundreds of them. Peace out.